this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and we're here in our hotel room in Belgium. We are staying in an IBIS, I-B-I-S, if you're not familiar with them. It's an Accor hotel. The whole holding company is A-C-C-O-R. They have hotels in different places around the world. And so here we are, and we've got a review for the hotel room up, but I wanted to bring you up to date with the Ruby Princess and then tell you about our day, because we had a really amazing day today. And if you are going on a cruise out of somewhere in Europe, it is, I think, a really good idea to come a little bit early or stay a little bit longer if you possibly can, so that you can take advantage of seeing some more sights. So first of all, the Ruby Princess. I feel so bad for Princess with this. So as you all probably know, she docked in San Francisco on Wednesday. It was supposed to be the turnaround day, and they were supposed to head right out on another Alaskan cruise. The Ruby Princess has been running the 10-day cruises round trip from Seattle up to Alaska this whole season. And due to the damage that was sustained as she hit the pier, as they were coming to dock there in San Francisco, there have been repairs that needed to be done. So now they are expecting to leave San Francisco on Sunday at 4 p.m. They have altered the itinerary. They're going to leave San Francisco, like I said, on Monday. They're going to have 2 sea days, and then they are going to visit Ketchikan, and then on the next day, Prince Rupert in the British Columbia there in Canada, have 2 more sea days, and then be back to San Francisco the next Sunday. So it'll be a 7-day cruise rather than the 10-day cruise she's been doing. Because of this change in the itinerary, Princess has a couple of options for people. If you are booked on that cruise and you're already there, if you want to stay on board, you can go ahead and go on that 7-day cruise, and you will receive a refund of 75% of the amount of money that you paid for that cruise. Along with that, you get to have a 75% future cruise credit issued that you just need to book by February 1st of 2024 and sail by February 1st of 2025. Or you can go ahead and apply it to an existing booking that you have, that future cruise credit that you have not yet paid in full and is non-refundable and non-transferable. So that's what you get if you stay on the ship this week. If you decide that because that ship will not be doing the itinerary that you wanted, then you can go ahead and get off the ship and go home now. If you do that, you get to have a 100% refund of all of the money you paid for your cruise, and I will add with both of them, you get all of your excursion money back, all of your port fees and taxes. If you decide to stay on board, the port fees and taxes, you will still, of course, be paying those for Ketchikan and Prince Rupert, but not for the other places that you're not going to visit after all. So on both of them, you'll get that money back. But anyway, if you decide you're going home, you get the money back, plus you get a 50% future cruise credit that you need to use on a future cruise that you just need to book by February 1st of 2024 and sail by February 1st of 2025. And just like on the other one, you just need to, you can also use it on an existing booking as long as, that is non-transferable and non-refundable. Those are really important things to note. Finally, if you're going home early and you booked your air through Princess Easy Air, then Princess will rebook you on a flight home earlier at no extra cost to you. If you did not book your flights with Princess Easy Air, then you need to call the airline or your travel agent, whoever you want it to take care of that for you, and that will be at your expense. So that is a perk, and I will admit that is an important perk of booking with Princess Easy Air. When things like this happen, you get the extra help of taking care of it, and clearly Princess is covering the cost if you did book with Princess Easy Air. So that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're deciding how you're going to book the flights for your cruise. Now, and along with that, they did note that if you need the shuttle from the ship to the airport, if you're leaving early, those transfers will not be available through Princess. Luckily, in San Francisco, it's not hard to get transfers from the pier to the airport. You can easily do a taxi or an Uber, and there are other shuttle services as well. So that's what's going on with our Ruby Princess. That poor ship just has one headline after another. So I really do hope that everyone that decides to stay has a wonderful cruise this next week. I like to think that I would stay if I possibly could, because you get to have that wonderful cruise and you get to go somewhere like you had planned. Not all the ports you'd planned, but at least you get to have a good cruise. Plus you get that 75% future cruise credit to use on another sailing. So I think that is more than generous. Another thing I wanted to talk to you to do with this, though, is I have read through clearly a lot of reports about this, and it sounds like clearly there is a local pilot on board the ship, and I've heard some speculation that maybe the pilot was driving, steering the ship when she hit the port there, the dock there in San Francisco. So if anyone really knows, let us know, because my understanding had always been that the local pilot was on to advise and work with the bridge team and whoever was steering the ship, but that they never turned control of the ship over to that local pilot. So my understanding is that it would have been a Princess employee, either the captain or someone else on the bridge that gets to drive it sometime, that would have hit that pier. So if anyone knows for sure, let us know. And anything else you hear about that. And I really appreciate all of you for posting updates on our Facebook group and for sending me updates. Thank you very much. You all are just wonderful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. This is the place to be. If you want to be, we talk about a lot of other cruise lines as well, but we know the ins and outs of Princess here, like, I think you could put our Let's Go family members up against anybody on that. So come and join us, be with us. And the next thing, though, that I wanted to tell you about is a little bit about what we did here. So if you're not familiar, we are going to sail out of Copenhagen on Wednesday. So we came early here to Brussels. We were going to fly into Copenhagen, but we decided, and I'll tell you the whole story, but we came to Brussels early today. Luckily, our flight was scheduled. We left JFK last night at 6:45 is when we were scheduled to go, but it is really, as you know, a very busy airport, and we finally took off at 7:24 p.m., I noticed, and then we arrived in Brussels this morning at 8:30 a.m., so it was really nice to get to have the whole day. So we got our rental car and we drove right over to Bruges, and then that took about maybe an hour and a half. It took a little longer than we anticipated because there was very heavy traffic, but we got over there and we went to the church. I think it's called the Church of Our Lady, and went and saw the Bruges Madonna. The Bruges Madonna is the only sculpture by Michelangelo to leave Italy during his lifetime. It was actually commissioned by a cloth merchant there in Bruges and his family. And so it came back in the 1500s here to Bruges. So was it the 1500s or the 1400s? Anyway, it came during Michelangelo's lifetime. So we went and saw that right off, enjoyed that whole church. So when you get to the church, there's a whole lot of the church that you can see free of charge. But then if you want to pay, actually see the Bruges Madonna and some of their other artwork, you have to pay an entrance into that part of the church, and that was €7 each. So we enjoyed that thoroughly, really enjoyed that a lot. So when we were done there, we just went right down from that. It's a little shopping street. There's a place that you can get the famous Belgian French fries and the waffles. So we gave those a try, and they were delicious. They were really good, and we just walked around there for a little while. So after we had seen that whole area, we went ahead and got back in the car and drove around the town a little bit we went, as we were walking along that street there, it's a shopping street with places to eat and chocolate shops. We got some chocolate and everything. You do cross one of the canals, so we got to see that. We were weighing out if we wanted to use time to do a canal cruise or if we wanted to carry on and go see other things. So we decided that today we wanted to see other things. So we went ahead and we went to visit over by the town of Ypres, which is Ypres. That is where a whole bunch, in that whole region there, where the Flanders area is, if you are familiar with the poem in Flanders Fields, that poem that was written during World War I, that whole area is down by Ypres. So we went and saw that. We saw an amazing museum. There's a beautiful museum there, and it's called Passchendaele. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but we went to see that. They've got an amazing museum, and it is set in an area there where you can still see a crater that has actually been filled in to be a lake, and trenches, and it's just really interesting. They do a really good job, so we saw that. And then there's the Tyne Cot, I'm probably saying that wrong, which is a huge Commonwealth cemetery for soldiers that were killed from the British Commonwealth. It is the largest Commonwealth military cemetery in the whole wide world. It's amazing. You go there and there's like 12,000 people, I believe, buried there. And the really cool thing is when you're walking up, they have these speakers, and this lady is she reads off the name and the age of the person who was killed during World War I, who perished fighting and is buried there. They also have, they also remember a lot of people that their remains were never found. So it is a very sacred, very special place to visit. Really glad we went there. We also went and saw some other military cemeteries from World War I, and just scattered. You'll be going along, driving along the road, and there'll be a little monument off to the side remembering certain people, remembering different divisions that fought there of military. It's just really a very special place to visit. And while we were at the Passchendaele, I'm probably saying that wrong, but anyway, while we were at that museum there for World War I met the very nicest lady that grew up in Ypres, so she shared a lot of history. Her grandfather had fought in World Wars I and II, so it was really a sweet experience to meet her. We had a really wonderful time. And then this evening, it's only like, just about 8 o'clock here, but we're going to go to bed soon because we're so tired with the jet lag. And then tomorrow we will be up early to go, we're going to go see the American Cemetery, because that's kind of on the way between where we are staying this evening as we head over to Maastricht in the Netherlands for Andrea's concert tomorrow evening. So when we get there, if we are able to go live, we will. We have never been to this, and so we'll just kind of take a look at everything going on and see if that would work okay, because I would really like to show you how everything is going there in this square. We are so excited to see it ourselves, but I think you might enjoy it too. So keep an eye out on your phone if we go live. And if you have subscribed, that little bell that's next to the subscribe button, it makes it so that you'll get a notification on your phone if you've got notifications for YouTube turned on, or an email whenever we go live so that you don't miss it. So come and join us. I am planning on it being a very special day. If you've got any questions about anything that we saw, where we went, anything that we did, put it down below, and we are delighted to share it with you, and we appreciate you coming with us. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you appreciate our updates, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.